Hello, everyone. This is Sebastian Maniatopoulos, your host of the Grappling Monthly Podcast. This is part 2 of my discussion with Professor Bruno Fernandes of Gracie Barra Montreal. In case you didn't see the first episode, it's live on our YouTube channel right now, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. But stay tuned. Here comes part 2. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe shifting to a little bit later, at one point you decided to open Gracie Barra Montreal, which has already been open, I think you said, for 10 years?
15 years.
15
yeah.
years, right. Oh, no, you've been here for 10 years.
On this location, 10 years, yeah.
Right.
We were 5 years in a different location.
Yeah, so that's another mindset shift, right? Like that, I think you go from maybe wearing 2 or 3 hats to wearing all of the hats.
Yeah.
Right? Like administration and marketing and everything that comes with owning a business. Yeah. Was that something that you found to be challenging, or were you prepared through your studies and your training, traveling before that?
If I knew how hard it was, I probably would reconsider.
Oh, really?
In the beginning, I was just not aware of everything it took.
Yeah.
To run an actual business.
Yeah.
All I wanted was to teach jiu-jitsu. I wanted to have a place that I could call my own.
Yeah.
That I could have the same philosophy that I grew up with. And I rented the place. I put some mats and it was open.
Yeah.
I didn't renovate anything. It didn't look that great. It did a simple math, the rent is X, I need X students, and that's it, And I was taking it slowly, right? Because once I would reach break even, I would increase my expenses, So it's like, oh, maybe I should put more marketing. Oh, maybe I should renovate the bathroom. Maybe I should, so I was conservative in a way, because I didn't know that much, so I wanted to protect myself from my own stupidity.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't want to make wild bets, that I could blow up.
Absolutely.
So I was really taking very, very careful. As the school was growing, I would then match the expenses, and then slowly turning the gym into a place that I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
But wasn't perfect in the beginning, for sure. I made a ton of mistakes, and there were phases, and then I probably went too far. So there was a time on the other location, man, we were 2 stories, 5,500 square feet. So I have maybe 5-6 employees, and so that became too big. So it became too much of a business to run.
Yeah.
I had to manage different people and different classes, and expenses was higher also. I was kind of I don't like it. So then I downsized, and I'm happy now.
Nice,
So I know there are martial arts schools that are 3 times as big as mine. I know I could have a bigger school, but I don't like running business. I like teaching jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I think that a small school, you can get by. Focusing on your product. And
Absolutely.
then everything else, it's less relevant.
Yeah. I think at some point, because I've asked this question of pretty much everybody that I've had the pleasure of interviewing is a school owner, and they all pretty much echo your sentiment, right? It's very common to initially be not really expecting all of the things that you're going to need to be able to do, and then slowly replacing, yourself in different roles, right? Like the cleaning, for example, if possible. And then you have to find instructors if you don't have them already homegrown, right? Because it takes, normally it would take approximately 10 years to be a black belt. And then maybe their instructors or maybe you start a little bit earlier coaching and things like this. But it's a lot of talent development compared to, a corporate job, for example, right?
Yeah, and it's a lot rarer.
Yeah.
Right? So if I want some money in marketing, I put an ad there. I have 1,000 applications,
That's it.
So for a jiu-jitsu position, And I don't take from outside. So every staff is homegrown.
Yeah. Nice.
So even front desk, so
Nice. Yeah.
I feel that, you got to know jiu-jitsu to sell jiu-jitsu. So if you don't like jiu-jitsu, don't teach. Don't work in a jiu-jitsu school if you don't like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be great at it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Interesting. So homegrown, that also has its challenges, right?
Yeah. Nothing's easy, right?
No,
like that guy says, choose your heart.
Yeah.
I think that the problems that I would have going that homegrown route are more manageable.
I see.
Because I know the guy already.
Yeah.
So once he's brought him on board, there's no surprises.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, mistakes are made, nobody's perfect, but they're usually minor.
Yeah.
I think the more serious mistakes, it's when you have someone inside that doesn't understand your culture. Because that's when bigger problems can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the guy kind of grew up here and, as a student, if he's been a student for a couple of years, he's going to be a great staff.
Right.
He understands the school, he knows the students, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And everything else is pretty easy to learn.
That's true.
So, sure. and again, getting back to the small school part, it's not even that important. I don't need to have great marketing. I don't need to have a great, management skills. It's just I focus on good classes and a good experience. Nice. Of my students,
Yeah.
I always use the analogy of restaurants, Not that I have any experience running the restaurant, but we all have experience going to a restaurant, so you understand the client side.
Yeah.
I think that, when you go to a restaurant, do you care what kind of management software the restaurant uses? You care if the food is good, right?
Yeah,
if the service is polite, that's it. It's a clean restaurant, good food, the guy is smiley.
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So this is what we want to try to focus here, So a clean gym, friendly staff, and good jiu-jitsu.
I love that. That's the formula you guys have there, yeah. Maybe for somebody who's never really trained, like I did one class in Recife, but never really trained Gracie Barra. Is there a methodology? Is there a formula that you guys have across the network of Gracie Barra?
A ton.
Really?
Right? Yeah. So if that's probably one of the most polarizing issues about Gracie Barra,
Yeah.
Some people love it, some people hate it,
Right.
Because there's structure for everything.
Okay.
From the uniform we use to the classes we teach, the way you run our marketing, the look and feel of your school. So and everything is, there's a guideline.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And some people love it, some people hate it. So they're like, no, I want to make my own shirt, I want to make my own logo. I want to put my name, on a billboard outside. Just everything is fine, right? But you're probably gonna have to have your own school.
Yeah.
So once you're part of our organization, there are rules to follow.
Yeah. It really is a franchise, isn't it?
Yeah. So, do I like them all? Would I do anything different? For sure. Every school owner of each of the thousands Gracie Barra schools would do different.
Yeah. Of course.
But would you do better?
Yeah.
That's the big question.
Yeah,
because it's, it's easy to have your ego in the way.
Yeah.
I know better. This sucks. I could do, do it for 35 years.
Yeah.
You might change your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So
absolutely.
What we have today, it wasn't kind of just invented last week.
No.
It was improved.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of those things 10, 15 years ago. Things were getting better.
Yeah.
Right? Organically, right? So we give feedback on the things that are not working, and then when you have 1,000 schools giving feedback, that's a pretty good feedback.
That is amazing.
So things improve with time.
Yeah.
Are they perfect? They never will be.
Yeah.
Pretty much like a fighter,
exactly,
right? We're always trying to improve. But, it is, if you go beyond the discussion, should you have standards or not? And you go back to is there a better one?
Yeah.
And if you could go through all jiu-jitsu affiliations, there is no doubt. that, you know, as far as standards goes, like Gracie Barra is the best one, you know.
Yeah.
Again, if you don't want standards, it's a different discussion, you know. But if you want to follow a certain standard, like, I mean, there's no other affiliation that has as much experience as we do.
That's true, yeah.
And it's just because we've been doing it a lot longer, right? Like, I mean, so other affiliations took a long time to catch up to it, and see that's pretty much the only way of running a large affiliation. And now they're trying to kind of emulate what Gracie Barra does. Of course, in their own way, but you know, like there's no way that you can run like an affiliation this big without standards. You know, like so.
I imagine it's very difficult to have the same culture in a gym, say in Montreal, and then one in Indonesia, and one in Brazil. You know.
And they're not exactly all the same, right? So that's kind of the feedback that I get from students when they travel. You know, like, so they come in, it's like, oh, it's kind of the same school. You know? But it isn't.
No,
because I think a school takes a lot of the personality of the owner. You know, of course, assuming that the owner is working at the school, right? If you're just a hands-off investor, you know, it won't take anything for personality, right? But if you're there like all the time, and you know, it is indeed your school, it will take a lot from your personality, you know, and I think that's a good thing. Like, I mean, I think that's the biggest misconception about standards, right? Like, I mean, so standards are not supposed to put you in a box. They're supposed to kind of level, set like a minimal level of standard, you know, and then you can add your own things, you know. Nothing stops you from kind of like doing like extracurricular classes, you know, like, I mean, so
of course,
and then add to what is already offered, you know, like so. So yeah, like so, like even like here in Montreal, we have 9 schools. You know, if you visit, if you visit like each of them, you will see that it's a little different. You know, maybe one's more focused on kids, more teenagers. Like maybe the other one, you know, like I mean, smaller, the other bigger. You know, like I mean, it's different. You know, and it's a good thing. You know, like I think that is not something that is like, you know. It's something to be encouraged. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. It's also like such a tremendous network. I imagine you guys benefit from learnings that other schools might have. You know, like, hey, this happened to us. Here's how we deal with it. We think that this is how you can deal with it. You know, like you said, like feedback from 1,000 different schools. That's a really good network, right? Really, it enables, I would imagine, the organization to improve at scale. So we have gatherings. So that was going to be my next question. How do you guys get together?
We have the GB Summit. You know, that happens like every year or so. And then we have like regional gatherings as well. Those are like non-institutional level. But you know, like every region kind of like get together and they talk, you know, like in a more informal way. Right. So we all have our WhatsApp groups and it's just like, guys, you know, like what you do for promotions or New Year's, you know, like or whatever, you know, just and we learn. You know, we learn from it. That's the other advantage, you know, like of having standards, right? Like it's easy to improve upon. Right. Because if everybody's doing something completely different,
that's different.
You know, maybe your feedback won't help me at all. You know, like because you know, I'm doing something completely opposite to what you're doing. But you know, like if you're already doing something that is similar, you know, like your experience might, you know, like I can bolt on, you know, my own operations like a lot easier.
Absolutely. Very cool. There's also, I think, is there, like, when you guys, for example, if you see each other at a competition, I imagine you probably have students that are competing. Is it one team when you get together at the competition? Or is there a rivalry between, you know?
Well, I mean, if they fight each other, it's someone's gonna win, right? So there is no rivalry in terms of like, you know, I want my school to be better than yours, right? Okay. You know, like it's for me, it's all the same, right? Like of course. I want if my students fighting your students, I want my student to win. Of course, you know. So, like, and of course, it's gonna give me pride, you know. Like if at the end of the day, when you sum up points, you know, like my school ends up first, you know, like of course, I'll be happy with it, you know, like but there's so much synergy between schools and so much exchange between students that it's not really a competition.
Oh, that's
right.
Cool. Yeah.
Because, you know, if I have your students come train with me every week, you know, like, and then your school wins, it's kind of like, man, you know, it kind of helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So it is, there is, and because of that exchange and synergy, it pretty much feels like one school. You know, like, I mean, once you're out there, you know, and they see the gi, they go help.
Yeah.
You know, might never seen the guy having in their lives, you know, like, I mean, they know that's their team.
Yeah.
They'll be there.
Very recognizable, you know.
Yeah. And it's by design. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so we want to make something that stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Yeah, that blue mat, you know, you see it, you know, almost immediately. It's probably Gracie Barra.
Yeah, and then, I mean, on that sense, Gracie Barra didn't reinvent the wheel, right? Like, I mean, so branding is important, you know, like, I mean, for a variety of reasons, you know, like, I mean, so not only, like, you know, selling, it's important for, like, you know, people understand that, you know, like, I mean, okay, the culture is probably going to be similar.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, so, and like, the level of service, like, you know, should be the same as well.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's like when you go abroad, you know, in a different country, in a different city, you know, like, I mean, if you see a brand that you recognize, you know exactly what you're going to expect.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's why people go to McDonald's in every country.
yeah, you know, I mean, you know, you might not like it, but you know what you're going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I mean, so I think that's kind of like the idea, and it ties back to the standard sport, you know, like, I mean, so standards are not to cap you or put you in a box, right? Like, I mean, it's just to set some minimal level, you know. Like, so if you go to Gracie Barra schools, you know that, like, school's gonna be clean and people are gonna be friendly to you, you know, like, and then you're not expected to kind of like earn your place, like things used to be,
right?
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, like, I mean, other than that, you know, like, I mean, it is gonna be a new experience. You're gonna train with different people. You're gonna learn from different students, from different teachers, you know. So it is unique in a way, you know, even though it kind of like looks the same.
Yeah. It really. What you said resonated with me about how the school will inevitably take on some of the personality of the owner if the owner is actively, you know, in the school on a regular basis. It's true. I see it every school that I go to, you know, like there's that part of the instructor that's embedded in the way that people behave and the way that people greet each other, you know, and like the way that people train, right? If even the style, for example, you know, maybe you're more a guard player, somebody else is more top heavy, you know, then the students end up adopting, at least partially, you know, which I think is really interesting.
It is,
It took me a very long time to begin to have my own personality in jiu-jitsu. And, you know, like I like that you say it's never perfect because definitely.
And it will change. Because like, you know, in jiu-jitsu, our bodies are only two, you know, and our bodies change. Right? I mean, so your game will change a lot. You know, you see my game today compared to what my game was when I was 20. Completely different.
Really? Huh?
You know.
Absolutely. I definitely am now. I don't want to say I'm starting to have an old man game, but I'm starting to understand why older people will play a certain way. You know, like, I mean, like 60s, and I'm not there yet, but you know, like I still like to invert, but if the opportunity presents itself, but not as much as I would when I was younger, right? Like, I think, especially if somebody is, for example, is bigger and stronger, then I understand now that it makes more sense maybe for me to be on top if I can, right? Because then it's more manageable. So this leads me actually to one of the questions I like to ask of all the guests. And it's like, you know, what advice, and I think you touched on it a little bit when we talked about surfing, right? And complementary exercises that help. But what advice, if any, that would you give to somebody who's older? Maybe they're just starting jiu-jitsu, or maybe they're, you know, they're in love with jiu-jitsu, but getting to be, you know, 45, 50, 60. So that we can keep, because the objective, I would imagine, is to continue training until, you know, the end.
That was the first advice, right? Don't stop. Right? Because, you know, you only reap the benefits if you continue doing it. And frankly, you know, like, there's not a lot of more like fun sports that you can do at that age. You know, like, I mean, that you can show up and then have a gang. You know, like, I mean, to have fun with. You know, oh, you go to the gym, you do biking, you do running, you're on your own. You know, like, I mean, it's very rare for like middle-aged people, you know, like, I mean, to have a sport that you're part of a group and you make friends on, you know, like, so it's a very important tool for middle-aged and older. Because when you're young, you know, like, I mean, you're going to college, you know, man, you already have a circle of friends. You don't need sports for your social life.
That's true, yeah.
But no, after getting married, having kids, move to the suburbs, you know, like, I mean, if you don't have a place like a jiu-jitsu school, your social circle just disappears.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not healthy.
It's true.
Right? So for the social aspect of it, like, don't quit, keep coming. And for the physical aspect of it, like, keep coming as well, but not for the reasons you might believe or might expect, you know, like, because it is hard on your body.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, it's like, oh, this is good for your physique. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I just had a knee surgery and now my neck hurts, you know, like, I mean, and I think jiu-jitsu is a great motivator.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, so you do a little bit of it, you know, you feel stronger, you feel more confident, you lose weight, you know, and just like, okay, I see the effect that it does in my body, you know, I don't want to stop. But, you know, I can also get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause that's not fun.
Yeah.
So then goes to more specific advice, you know, like, I mean, so just take care of your body. You know, like, I mean, techniques are secondary. Just don't get hurt.
Right.
Like, I mean, you're going to take a lot longer to heal. You might never come back.
Yeah.
So, like, just don't get hurt. Nothing matters more than not getting hurt. You know, so, like, there's no need to resist submissions. You know, like, I mean, just don't need to just force your way out of positions and then doing something you shouldn't do. You know, like, I mean, just, like, no, you're old already. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. You know, like, I mean, just come here, have fun, learn a trick or two, break a sweat, go home. You know, like, I mean, this is kind of like, you know, and it's not, it sounds simple, but it's not. You know?
No,
But when you think like 20 years doing that, you know, a lot of things happen like along the way.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, think about taking care of your body. Mobility plays a great role, right? Because there's a lot of techniques that you will not be able to do if you're not mobile on certain joints, you know? So it's not a matter of knowing or wanting, you know, like, so I remember when I was younger, I would teach all the guys, and it's kind of like, just get out of there. And then that guy's not doing it. Like, why are you not doing it? You know? Like, now I know.
Exactly. I can't.
So I would give, bringing from my perspective, like, you know, my guard used to be like a lot more flexible, you know, like, I mean, so I would give a lot more chances, right? Because it was a lot easier to recover. I could invert, like, I mean, get my foot anywhere, you know, like, I mean, so now if it passes a certain point, I know I'm screwed. Yeah, you know, it's like my guard got passed, you know. Yeah. So I'm much more conservative, right? The line that I don't want people to cross just got pushed a lot, further in, you know. So that's one of the advices I give to older people, you know, like, I mean, so there's a lot of ways that your body won't move anymore, so just give people less chance. Yeah. Right? So don't put yourself in bad positions that are hard to get out of. Of course, you need to learn. So sometimes, yes, you will intentionally get to bad positions, you know, like, I mean, but you know, when it's game on, like, you know, some places you don't want to be, you know, because you're not going to get out of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's pretty much, I mean, it's a lot of cliche, but it is true, you know, like, I mean, just like keep coming, you know, don't get hurt, like, take care of your body, and align your expectations with reality, right? Like, I mean, so... That's the difficult one. It is hard, right? Yeah. So know that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that you're not going to be anymore, right? Like, I mean, a guy comes here at 30, he's not going to be a world champion. Yeah. Not in the outer division, at least. You know, like, I mean, so... the guy comes here, like, you know, 28, and then I start training, like, you know, 5 times a week, you know. I was like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, I'm an executive. I had 3 kids, and whenever I want to be a world champion, like, I mean, just dude, you know. Yeah. And for master, right? And you don't need to train that much, right? I mean, so just take it a little easier, right? Yeah. But isn't that the most difficult part to, I think, the mental aspect of, because we talked about mindset before, but in this case, you know, because I might be 43 physically, but in my brain, I mean, I'm more mature than I was when I was 20, and maybe I'm 30. You know what I mean? Like, I feel young. Yeah. I think I still interact like a young person would, right? And partially due to jiu-jitsu, right? So jiu-jitsu keeps you young on the mind level, right? But at the same time, as a result, you know, maybe it's the ego that comes in, but like that 20-year-old competitive blue belt, purple belt, who is like competing on a regular basis, is going to pass my guard. Yeah. But I don't want him to pass my guard. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because, you know, like when you're 20, it's all about potential. Yeah. Right? And during your teenage years, every year you're better. You're better, you're stronger, you're faster, you know, like, and then you think that you're limitless, right?
Yeah.
It's like every year I'm going to be a better version of myself, right? And you get cocky, right? Because then if you see a guy that's better than you today, it's going to give me a year.
Yeah.
You know, like, so you don't respect even guys that are better than you because you know that you're going to be better than them.
Yeah.
Of course, if you put the work, right? Yeah. So, but after a certain time, it's all downhill, man.
Right.
You know, they say it's 25, right? I mean, after 25, it's all downhill. So I know that I'm going to be worse next year, right? So, like, you know, and I've seen, you know, students that I brought up.
Very depressing, no.
But, you know, like, I mean, you got to face it, right?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like I've seen students that I did their intro class, you know, like as a white belt.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, they tap me when they're black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like, man, I thought that guy had to walk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Me, you know? So, and then you just need to make that mindset, you know? It's just kind of like, okay, this is not about getting better anymore. You know, like, I mean, it's like from a technical level, it's just, I mean, I'm going to get worse, right? So how I'm going to handle that, right? So like, okay, like, if I learn a move today, now I think, like, can I do that move next year? Can I do that move in 5 years from now, right?
Yeah.
If I don't, I don't bother, you know, because, I mean, this is a very short-lived, you know, use, right? So I rather focus on things that I can use for a very long time, right? Potentially forever.
Yeah.
You know, so having that mindset that kind of like, you know, people will get better than you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not like, I mean, I'm going to be better than the guy that's better than me. It's kind of the guy that I'm better than today will be better than me like next year.
Yeah.
So once you accept that, you know, you're just going to get worse. You know, you kind of like, you know, you take it more lightly. You know, like, I mean, because, you know, you align your expectations, right?
Yeah.
So, like, so things that you're not going to be able to accomplish today, you're not going to be able to accomplish next year. You know, like, I mean, so you start aiming more for longevity.
Interesting.
Right? And then you go, it's kind of like, okay, I just want to make sure that I am here next year, even though I'm worse, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like 10 years from now, you know, like, I mean, when I cannot do half the techniques that I do today.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, so that is I mean, something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, so when I see all the guys training still, like, I look up to them, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, they're not better than me, you know? Like, I mean, and then I sense their frustration, you know? Like, I mean, when lower rank guys just kind of like beat them. You know? But they're here.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm kind of like, man, I hope I'm here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
They show up good, you know? Like, I mean, you're already far ahead.
Absolutely.
Of like everybody else your age, you know? It's like the thing we tell kids that kind of like jiu-jitsu makes you a superhero, you know? And I mean, when you're old, same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, so if you're like a 60, 65-year-old black belt that you continue to train, man, you're like, you know? You're a superhero compared to people your age.
Absolutely.
Because the vast majority of people, like, you know, are sitting on the couch and then they need to help stand up.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, and they're not going to be around for long.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so.
As soon as we stop moving, I feel, you know, we start dying.
Yeah.
Really, you know, it's a little bleak sounding, but it's true. Like I'm very proud of my mom, she's 86 now, and she still, you know, does her exercises every morning. And can still bend down, you know, pick something up, and has no trouble getting up and down stairs and things like that. Like, of course, she's older, so things are slowing down. But you know, those exercises. She was hospitalized 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, and her recovery was that much better, that much faster. I think because of those exercises.
For sure.
So, like, you know, at least jiu-jitsu is like. Yes, we're bent like this all the time, but the hips are mobile, and you know, like,
and you know what? Like, you know, I mean,
you know how to fall.
If you sit on your couch all day, you know, it's the same problem.
Absolutely.
You know, like, so that's kind of like I mean, what I get pissed off when people say like, "Oh, jiu-jitsu is dangerous," you know, like, I'm just like, what isn't? You know, like,
absolutely,
What isn't, right? Like, I mean, so I mean, even if you consider all sports, like jiu-jitsu, it's not even close to being the most dangerous one. You know, like, I mean, there's far more, like, you know, dangerous sports. But like doing nothing is dangerous too.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, so your body's made to move.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, if you move, I mean, you might get hurt.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, just not getting hurt means not moving, and that ain't great either.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, I mean, getting hurt is part of it.
Yeah.
And it's just something to be managed, like not necessarily avoided. You know, like, yes, of course, you know, try to avoid, but you know that you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes, and like how you handle it, you know, even from a mindset point of view, you know, like, I mean, it matters a great deal as well.
I mean, you could slip on some ice and get hurt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's just anything. So yeah, I like what you said about, you know, things aren't going to get better; they're going to get worse. And it's true. I mean, you know, there's no way around it, and it's very, very sobering reality. But when you look at it this way, I think it's a healthy, you know, way to look at things rather than being discouraged. Like for me, for a while, I didn't really have like a goal when I came to class. So I was happy that I was here, you know, and I was training and I saw my friends. So it was good. And I still wanted to go every day. But my training was kind of like plateaued, I think, because I didn't really have an objective, you know, whereas before it was like, oh, I want to do De La Riva. So I'm going to like obsess over this, you know. So I started doing that again. And I found that really helped me get like more excited about going to class, because now if my guard is passed or it's not passed or I submitted or I didn't get submitted, it doesn't matter quite as much. It's like, it's did I manage to advance what I'm working on during this period of time?
And that's the right way to come to class, right? So you're here to train. This is your own like sandbox.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you come here for goal. And you know, if you accomplish that goal, you know, it was a good day.
Yeah.
Right? So if your goal, it's not necessarily to win the round, you know, like it's maybe like to practice coming out of a bad position or like, I mean, trying a move that you're not so good at, you're probably going to lose the round.
Yeah.
You know? So, but if it was never your goal to begin with, you know, like, I mean, why would you be mad about it?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
So, this is exactly right. Like, so you know, I mean, you come here and then like, okay, what you want to accomplish today? You know, like, I mean, it's like, okay, maybe I just want to tap today.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, or maybe I just want my guard pass. Or, you know, like, I mean, you have those, like, you know, different goals that you make, like, you know, like a social contract with yourself, you know, and then, you know, you try to accomplish it, right? And of course, that will change, right? I mean, as things get worse, and they will, right? Like, I mean, so... So, for example, for a long time, like, you know, my goal was like, I mean, it still is actually, you know, like, I mean, like not to lose any round. Like, I mean, it's like, actually for a long time, it was like not tapping, you know, like, I mean, but then it became too dangerous to resist that much, you know. So right now, I just know if I can't escape, I tap, fuck it. And then, like, I have this kind of like, I don't want to like lose any round, you know, like, I mean, so even if I'm trying something new, you know, like, I mean, I want to get back and kind of like win the round, you know?
Right.
Because I think it's good for my students also.
Yeah.
Because I see me training with them as part of my teaching.
Yeah.
You know? So I give them like, you know, a challenge that, and I'm able to give a feedback after that I cannot give by teaching technique.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes, like, I mean, I want something, I try something that I shouldn't have tried, and another guys I had, and then, like, I mean, I kind of go back hard, and I try to win that round, you know, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yeah. But they know that I never want to lose. Yeah. You know? So when they win, it matters. You know? I see. So it's not like, oh, he let me win. I'll never let you win. You know? So I might not go 100%. You know, like, I might not go 100%. You know, like, I mean, maybe I'm hurt. Maybe I try to move that I'm not good at. Or maybe I give you like a bit more of a chance so I can try escape from a more difficult position. You know, like, I mean, but I would always try to win the round. You know, like, and I think it's a good thing. You know, it's a good kind of like game that I have, you know.
That's cool. They know at least, right? So, like, oh man, professor wants to roll with me. Okay, here we go. So if you had, for example, in terms of advice for somebody who's, you know, like, you know, blue, purple, brown belts coming up, you know, learning, improving over the course of time, sometimes it's hard if you're in a room where everybody's more advanced than you, right? Like, I don't know if you remember how that feels.
I do.
Right? Like, maybe you want to practice some techniques, but your guard's going to get past and you're going to be defending from bottom maybe the whole round. So what kind of approach do you suggest if, you're thinking about those people that want to develop their game?
I think like the mindset that we just discussed, coming with a plan and whatnot, it's easier when you're on the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you can choose how you're going to roll.
Exactly.
When you're coming up, those things are imposed on you, so you have to have your mind a bit more open, right?
Okay.
So you take whatever it's served, so it's every position is an opportunity, right? So, the guy took you down, practice your guard.
Yeah.
The guy passed your guard, practice side control escape. You got mounted, practice escape from the mount, right? Or you mount someone, practice your mount attack, right?
Yeah.
So, every situation, it's kind of like, this is my homework now.
Yeah.
Right? So you keep, closing and opening boxes, so you try to think, okay, everything I know about this position, what can I apply, right?
Yeah.
And it's already very hard, right? Because things change so fast.
Exactly.
And the consequence of that, it's that naturally you're going to slow a bit down the transitions, right? So you pass someone's guard, a beginner tendency, it's goes straight into attack.
Yeah.
Right?
A
submission or a mount or whatever. So they don't stop. Right? I gotta move fast, that's bad.
Yeah.
So I tell them it's kind of like the position changed, calm down. Right? Just stop for a few seconds and then go there in your, your toolbox.
Yeah.
Okay, this is side control now. What do I know here? What should I look for? Right? How do I keep this position? What submission I can do? How can I improve it? Where to go from here? So you have this dialogue in your mind. Okay, it's on now, and then you go. Right. And then the position changed. Yeah. And then you slow down again, right? It's just kind of, change now. What do I do now?
Yeah.
Okay, I learned that move last week. Maybe let's should do it. Let's apply. So having this, seeing every defined position and then try to spend as much time around them as possible,
Yeah.
Compared to those weird entanglements and don't even know who's winning.
Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I tell them to avoid that. If you don't know the position that you're at, just get out of it, because someone's gonna get hurt.
Nice. Yeah, that's good advice.
Turn right when you should turn left, and then something pops.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah, especially leg entanglements.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that's really good advice. I think your ability to control, like you said, right, the outcome. When you're a lower rank is not there.
Yeah.
So.
And also that's when. That's going to be the best time for you to work in a defense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not now.
Yeah.
So we're not only because we're not on those bad positions that often anymore if we don't want to, but the guys that are attacking us are not as good as we are.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the level of stress that we are exposed to compared to your own knowledge, it's here, right?
Absolutely.
But when you're a beginner, it's there.
Absolutely.
So not only are you going to end up a lot more on those bad positions, but the guys attacking you are probably better than you.
Yeah.
So it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Right? So just focus on defense, right? So I think the good, if you go back to deliberate practice, coming here to go, the more beginner you are, the more modest your goals should be, right? So in the beginning might be just, maybe I should just tap 5 times instead of 6.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm not going to tap to that guy anymore. So, and then I was like, okay, I'm not tapping anymore. Great. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't let my guard get past. So then you start really from the bottom. Yeah. Right? And then okay, maybe I'm going to spend more time on top. Yeah. Right? And then maybe spending less time stuck in the closed guard. Right? Just having see the things that are really bothering you, that you're stuck on, and just focus on that. Get past that, before you think about flashy submissions and whatnot. So,
that's really good advice. Yeah, very cool. I think we're very shortly going to start class. I want to make sure that we have time. But Professor, thank you so much. I mean, thank you for taking the time. First of all,
always good to talk about Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah,
it's not an effort at all.
This is the best part about this is that I get to talk to people that love Jiu Jitsu. I love Jiu Jitsu, so it's it's
exactly.
But for me, it's a great learning experience. And then thank you for sharing part of your history and trajectory. we're gonna get a chance to train soon, so I'm looking forward to that.
There
Yeah, hopefully I'm gonna survive. I'll check back after to make sure I'm still alive.
Let's hope you don't get hurt.
Exactly, perfect. Yeah, but yeah, Professor, thank you so much.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, man.
Valeu mesmo.
Great.
Obrigado.
All right, guys, take care.
Oh.